Hi, I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. So the AWing is one of the most nimble fighters in the Rebel arsenal, and it played a significant role in the Rebel Alliance from their early beginnings to the Battle of Endor. So today, let's take a look at the origins of this fighter, where it came from, and what it really did for the Rebel Alliance. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, head down below and hit that subscribe button. So the AWing is a dedicated interceptor. It is designed for dogfighting, and when it comes to dogfighting, it is the best option the Rebel Alliance had. But like most Rebel Alliance ships, they weren't really the intended customer. You see, the RZ-1 AWing started its life as the R22 Prototype. This prototype, by the way, was built by Kuat Drive Yards, the same company that manufactures the Star Destroyers from the Clone Wars and the Imperial era. It was designed as a direct successor to the Delta 7 Interceptor that we see in Attack of the Clones. You can kind of even see it in the design. It's got twin engines like the Delta 7 and even a fairly similar shape. However, it wasn't really ready until the very end of the Clone Wars, and when they started trying to market it to the new Empire, unsurprisingly, this expensive, fast interceptor was not very appealing. So the Empire kindly turned down Kuat Drive Yards, and the R22 went into storage. Sort of similar to the history of the Y-Wing. It sat around for a while before being stolen by the Rebel Alliance. And these few stolen prototypes would become the first fighters the Rebel Alliance had. If you look back to their very early days, their only fighter in their arsenal were very early A-Wings. In these days, when the TIE Interceptor wasn't very common, the A-Wing would regularly dominate in fighter combat. But unlike the Y-Wings and the X-Wings, these were produced only for a prototype run. There wasn't a ton of them manufactured before the Empire kind of pulled the plug on their production by turning down the offer. So while they were some of the first fighters the Rebel Alliance got their hands on, they never really had a huge number of A-Wings. Even when you look at something like the Battle of Endor, which is very, very late in the Galactic Civil War, you see that the A-Wing still really wasn't very prominent in the Rebel fleet. It primarily filled the interceptor role it was originally designed to do. And boy, did it fit that role like a glove. It could outmaneuver a TIE fighter and go toe-to-toe with a TIE interceptor, which made it an incredibly valuable asset at large battles like the Battle of Endor. However, where it exceeded as an interceptor, it fell short basically everywhere else. With its armament more minded towards engaging other starfighters, its capabilities as a ground attack fighter were basically zero. This meant for the Rebel Alliance's trademark hit-and-run attacks, they were basically useless. When it came to defending fleets against fighter attacks, they were beautiful tools, but if you wanted to hit a specific target and get out, these weren't what you would go with. They lacked some of the heavier armaments carried by things like Y-Wings and even X-Wings. Instead of carrying things like proton torpedoes that could engage larger targets, the A-Wing swapped those weapons out for things like concussion missiles. These concussion missiles were good for dealing with other fighters, but when it came to engage things like capital ships or even ground structures, they weren't very effective. And its lightweight made it very difficult to modify it to carry anything more substantial than its laser cannons and its concussion missiles. And as a result, they saw some understandably limited use during the later years when the Rebel Alliance had other options. It was simply more efficient to send something like an X-Wing, which could strike a target and engage any fighters it encountered along the way. As a result, the A-Wing didn't really become a symbol the way the X-Wing and the Y-Wing did, and it really wasn't used in anywhere near the same numbers as those two fighters. But when the Rebels needed to deal with Imperial TIE fighters, the A-Wing was by far their best option. So the A-Wing played its significant role in the Rebel Navy. But it shared the Rebel fighter complement with a lot of other strike craft. One of the more notable strike craft that the Rebel Alliance used was the Y-Wing, which was basically the opposite of an A-Wing. It was a good bomber. If you want to learn more about how the Rebel Alliance got their hands on their Y-Wings, I'll leave a link up here to my video on that. And I want you to tell me down below in the comments what you think of the A-Wing. Was it too specialized for something like the Rebel Alliance, or was it a good fit? And if you enjoyed these videos, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.